Okay, figure the easiest thing is giving you all that information without something to practice is really kind of worthless and futile, isn't it? So, two things. You want to go to, hold on to this. Go just do a Google search for allguitarchords.com. You don't have to put dashes in, you don't have to do anything else. Just search for All Guitar Chords. It should come up as a website. What you'll do is at the second from the left, I think, is something that says Guitar Scales. It's a really cool website. You can actually, if you play something, give me an example here. I don't have it plugged in, and I don't know what the heck that chord is. I can go there. They actually have a thing on there that says reverse chords. There's also reverse scales as well. And what you do is you just plug in the notes. I would do, in this case, I would just do, let's see, 7th fret on the 4th string, then 5th fret on the 3rd string, then 8th fret on the 2nd string. It may give me the chord, at least definitely give me the notes, whatever. And I have to know this is a minor, partial minor 7th, whatever. But you may come across a chord that you don't know the name of. You can go to it. But the main reason I want you to go there is to hit that guitar scales thing. Like I said, top left somewhere. Hit guitar scales. I'm going to give you an album to practice with. And what you're going to do is, if I say C sharp minor, go to that guitar scales thing. There's two boxes kind of at the bottom, vertical ones coming up. You'll click on C sharp minor first, and then somewhere down 7th, 8th, 9th one on the right hand box, you'll see minor pentatonic. You click C sharp first, then you click minor pentatonic. You click get down at the bottom right, and it'll show you all the notes of the scale. And what you can do is you can go ahead and print that out. So for any song that happens to be in C sharp minor pentatonic, you have your map. You know exactly how everything is. As I said before, all 5 shapes are always going to be there, and they're always going to be in sequential order. They just start in a different location each time. With C minor pentatonic, for example, I think everything starts on the 9th fret. And when I say starts, I always start on the 6th string. Okay, second thing I want you to do, beside allguitarchords.com, is go to YouTube, and I want you to do a search for Albert King, Born Under a Bad Sign. There should be one that'll come up as a full album. I haven't checked all of them, but this full album one was the person who posted was called himself Led Zeppelin 3. So if you find Albert King, Born Under a Bad Sign by Led Zeppelin 3, pull that up. And what you're going to find is, I'll give you the keys for every single one, for almost every single song on there. The last one is kind of funky, and I guess I could have sat down and figured it out. But another thing to say, in addition to, if you're not tuned exactly right, you can't quite hit it. Sometimes just the way the chords are in the background, the cadence itself isn't that strong. It sounds like it could be in a couple of different places, and in fact that last tune might have even been maybe tuned down slightly, and that's the reason I can't really nail it. So I'll give you all the other ones that you need to work with, and then you can go to All Guitar Chords and you can print out, the actual paper for it, and it'll show you, all the notes you need to know on the fretboard, and I'll tell you also where to start. So the first one is Born Under a Bad Sign, and that is going to start at the 9th fret. And of course, when I say starts at the 9th fret, I'm always talking about pentatonic number 1. So pentatonic number 1 at the 9th fret, and if you get all guitar chords, you're going to do C sharp minor. Okay, the second song that shows up on the Albert King Born Under a Bad Sign album by Led Zeppelin 3 is Crosscut Saw. That's going to be pentatonic number 1 starting at the 4th fret on the 6th string, and that's going to be A flat minor, or it may be A flat minor or G sharp minor, is the same thing. On All Guitar Chords. Third one, Kansas City, starts at the 8th fret on the 6th string, and if you go to All Guitar Chords, print out a sheet for C minor, just regular C minor, not C sharp. Pretty Woman, that is going to be the 3rd fret on the 6th string, and if you go to All Guitar Chords, print out something for G minor. Then you've got The Hunter, which is the 8th fret again, 6th fret, which again is C minor. And another one here, I almost lost my mind, is the next song. That's also the 8th fret, 6th string, which is also C minor. We change back again on Personal Manager, which is going to be the 3rd fret, which is going to be G minor. Then Laundromat Blues is going to be the 6th fret, 6th string, which is B flat minor, or A sharp minor, same thing. As the years go passing by, we're back again to C minor, which is the 8th fret on the 6th string. And that's pretty much it. I can't remember what the last song was, but I just couldn't get a good read on it. So, you know, sometimes it happens. It's just the way it is. Sometimes they either tune slightly off or just the chords they use, they're all over the place and you can't really get something. But out of however many songs that is, 10 or 12, that at least gives you an idea on how everything works. And practice with shifting in between the positions and doing everything like I said before. And just coming in and just knowing up above pentatonic number 1, guess what? You've got that. And then the other one, if you go from 2 to 3, remember I told you, whole fret and then a minor third, or another way to do that is you just bend that minor third up in its way. Just look at the maps and you can kind of make up your own licks in a way. You may also, you know, bending the strings, like I said, is going to be difficult. If you want to, you can always tune down to an E flat standard, and then the strings will be a lot less, you know, putting lines in your fingers and things like that and getting your calluses worked out. The only thing is if you tune to E flat, you're going to have to shift everything up a half step. So basically, if I told you that, for example, Almost Lost My Mind is at fret 8, which is C minor, if you go and you want to play along with it when you're tuned to E flat standard, you're going to have to print out C sharp minor, because you're going to have to start here at the 9th fret, just because everything's tuned off a half step if you're, you know, looking at visualizations. And really the deal is, if you want to really get good, it's a good idea to kind of learn the notes. But to be honest with you, I've been playing for what, 36 years, whatever. I still don't know what all the notes on the fretboard is. But so if you want to, you can do like me and cheat. I really need to actually get down to it. At a future date, I'll try to do something within each one of these boxes. There are also triads, which, not to bore you, are basically the 3 primary notes of, you know, any kind of chord, which that's a root, minor third, 5th, and then you can, that's it. And you can use them in a lot of stuff, like Albert King was like. That right there was just a minor triad, basically just coming down the notes, which is second string 5th, second string 5th fret, third string 5th fret with a slight bend, and then 4th string on the 7th fret. That right there is a minor triad on the 4th string. You can do the same thing. There's a major triad there, but doesn't have the same effect because it's a major triad. But you could also work. But I mean, you can hear that right there. You've actually probably heard Albert King or some other blues player play it that way. So always remember, you know, the 5 shapes all follow each other sequentially. It's just a question of where you begin, but they're all going to follow each other. Next thing is, you know, kind of work on sliding in between your pentatonic positions. It'll make it a little bit easier. Once you practice a few times, even from you hearing me do them all in a row, you'll know when you're out, because you go, ooh, that's kind of wrong, as I did before, I think. Oh, yeah, you know, those last 2 ain't working. How about? Now you know it works, and now you know, so you already know basically by your ears, unless you're completely monotone. That's the only way you can not really ever be a musician, if you're completely monotone. If you're not monotone, you got a chance. I mean, it's just a question of how much work you want to put into it. So the other thing in addition to that is also making sure, go ahead and work on your pentatonic positions, sliding in between them, taking a look at, you know, the shapes, and see if I'm lying. Basically print out a couple of those that I told you, those Albert King songs, C minor, C sharp minor, G minor. You'll see the same 5 always following each other sequentially, and that's where you can come up with some licks just by looking at those particular, you know, fretboard maps for those keys. And you can just skip strings, you know, you can do, let's see, you know, just by doing whatever. You just look, okay, that note's in the key. And the other thing is, you don't always have to be in key, but it's kind of a good way to start. So then the other thing as well, Google search for all guitar chords, then go to also YouTube and search for Albert King, Born Under a Bad Sign, you know, and look for Led Zeppelin 3 was the person who posted. I'm sure if there's another one on there that's Albert King, it's from a CD, so it's not going to change the speed of it, so you'll still sound the same. The other thing is, always remember, just use the 6th string to know exactly what it is. And you don't have to play that fast. Take your pick, put it in your mouth, and and then the other things as well, work on your vibrato, which is more of a, a bending your finger like that, which basically ends up pulling the string down, releasing it, pulling it down, releasing it. I find that actually, to be honest with you, the third string is the easiest. When you go fourth string, you can do it. First string, I have to bend it and do it first because I want to pull it off the fretboard. Anyway, work on things, and hopefully this has helped you out somewhat.